What's up, everybody? Welcome to Week 15, Season 3, RBL Weekly. Your host this week, unexpectedly, Josh Means. Joining me today, my host, Artie Valenzuela.
What's good?
A very unique week in the history of RBL. As many of you have heard, Roast Battle Commissioner Pat Barker stepped down last week. And while there isn't someone to replace him because you can't replace him, he helped build Roast Battle into the global league that it is today. We're still going to try and make this work. So this week, it's a Bay Area takeover. Get used to it. Maybe not used to it, but get used to it for this episode because that's what we're doing. Let me know how much you hate it in the comments. That'll be fun. We will be showing the battles like we normally do. We'll be discussing them like we normally do. And I got the point spread. We know who's in first and second and third after today's battles. So this is gonna be fun for me. I hope it is for you guys as well.
Yeah, and from what I heard around the town, Pat stepped down to attend the military parade for Trump. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. Seems pretty reasonable.
Nice.
I've met Pat a couple times, talked to him in confidence, and everything's starting to line up.
Why don't you let me handle this?
Okay.
I trust me, guys. All right, I tried to get Logan. I tried to get Dakota. I asked Cookie Williams. None of them were available.
None of them are from the Bay Area, you fucking liar.
I'll
Come
show
on,
the
dude.
DM threads.
You want a Bay Area takeover? Get the Bay Area kid.
All right. This might be too much.
It's going to be interesting.
Before we get to the battles, I do have a couple things that I want to shout out. As you also have probably heard if you've been following Roast Battle this week, we are launching a new platform, RBL.live. It'll be a place to streamline all 24 cities, the 16 RBL cities, and the 8 WRBL cities, all in one place. It's basically 24 Patreons in one. The Patreon is going away, but it's going to be centralized, so you get truly all of the content from all of the cities. I'm very excited. They'll have more information on it next week, but I think it's going to be big for the league. And then we also have a huge date coming up. July 13th, we have the All-Star Game at the Comedy Cellar in New York City. Great battle of lineups. We've got Ryan Neeson from LA taking on Andrew Manning from New York. We've got Paige Wesley, shout out the Bay Area, taking on Shelly Gruenberg from Atlanta. Four Titans. We didn't really say anything about Ryan Neeson and Andrew Manning, but both of those battles phenomenal. Mike Eden from Austin, Texas, taking on AJ Leidig from Chicago. He's had a number of battles placed on the RBL Weekly this year already. Very excited to see them battle. Nate Maloof from Denver, who Pat mentioned last week. Nate Maloof is currently 7-0 and hasn't made the podcast yet.
Ooh.
Stay tuned for today, though.
All-Star Game sleeper.
And he will be taking on one of my favorite up-and-comers, Pope from Cleveland. That'll be a very exciting battle.
I'm a Catholic. That's blasphemous.
And then also stay tuned for that. The last battle will be Tory Ward versus Tom Goss. Tom Goss, I don't know if he's going to still do that battle as he has stepped down as the LA champion. TBD on who her replacement is. But there was one thing that I saw in the comment thread of that post about the All-Star Game is James Regal was calling for an international All-Star Game. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I have probably one thought on that, and it's do it.
Yeah, I think that is something that we should look into doing. And I just kind of fantasy booked an All-Star International Game for the season based off the battles that have happened this season.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to pull it up here so I can see it a little better. Representing Scotland, we've got... actually, you know what? I'll do that one last because I feel like that one deserves it. I got Will Christensen from Toronto taking on Jordan Ducharme from Manchester. Jay Yamaki from Tokyo taking on Ken Grinnell from London. Ken Grinnell has been battling one of the most out of anybody this season, and he's had so many that get submitted to be ranked, but the majority of them are one-sided, and I think it would be very fun to put him in this All-Star game against last year's world champ Jay Yamaki.
I love that.
So he's had a great season himself.
He's in a lot of submissions, but just not getting that final push to get.
Yeah, he's
listed.
had a couple battles that have placed, and a couple that I thought should have placed, but
I feel for that. I can relate to that a lot, man. That's the person you want to give a nod to. I like that
for sure.
I haven't seen anything, but just on that story alone, I love the narrative.
And then we've got Jack Trainer taking on Esther or Alice Russo. Both of them have put in some great work in Barcelona this year. I think that would be a very fun battle.
Barcelona.
And my favorite battle that I fantasy booked. These aren't. I'm not saying these are going to happen. These are just ones I want to happen, and I want you guys to comment in the YouTube, Instagram comments. Let us know some international all-star battles you guys would like to see as well. That last battle, what I think would main event the international all-star game, is Scotland's Ryan Cullen taking on Barcelona's James Regal. They're the two leading RBL place guys.
Those are big names.
Yeah,
for sure.
They've both put up the most amounts ranked. So to put them against each other, right? Yeah, James Regal came out here. He went on a tour of the U.S. just crushing battles.
Yeah,
he's put up multiple battles already this season, multiple number ones. Ryan Cullen, same deal. I think that would be a phenomenal battle. I want to see it. Let's make it happen.
Being mean isn't just an American thing. Look at that.
And I that's only 4 battles I named. There would be maybe a 5th battle. And I do want to give apologies to other people that I think could place, such as Alex Ty, Kyle Samuel, Brendan Fox. Maybe if they just had like one more ranked battle. TBD on that one. And with that out of the way, let's go to our first battle of the week. This comes to us from a city that places almost every week. Very fun city. One of the most consistent. We've got 1 point going to Chicago. This is AJ Leidig versus Tito.
Hell yeah, I want to thank AJ for taking time out of his paper route to be here tonight. AJ has experience wrapping things in plastic and dumping them behind bushes.
Oh shit, I thought Tito was gonna rap too. You guys see the arm movement there? It's good to be roasting RuPaul's Pirates of the Caribbean.
AJ's Catholic, clearly. In fact, his grandpa was a deacon. He found out at an early age when his grandpa put his deacon in his mouth. Made a real man out of him that day, you know?
Cannot take that from the man that stopped sex to ask for a hair tie. Tito looks like Mexican Frozone, which is ironic because his arch nemesis is Ice.
Ooh. Battle. I didn't deserve it.
That was my joke. That did not deserve it.
Hell yeah. AJ, you look like when you dab up black dudes, you accidentally start a thumb war. You know what I mean?
Tito looks like a bisexual man that's never kissed a woman.
And you look like you by yourself. Shut up. It's fucking...
Yo, after this, Tito's gonna follow a woman home on a unicycle.
Thank you, talcum in the middle. You so white, you always look like you're missing for some reason.
Tito's not just a comedian, he also works at the skincare department at Home Depot.
That's true. AJ's had a tragic life. In fact, he was born in 2001, and his mom's dead. Yeah, which means somewhere in heaven she's getting twin towered. Just handing out inside jobs is what I'm doing. All right.
My mom is dead. Tito's mom is the Duolingo owl.
Yeah. Neil Patrick Ferrets over here. Dude, the only way to meet his mother is through a Ouija board.
These are actually just cards for Tito's landscaping business.
AJ. I'm not saying his name. I'm laughing in Spanish. This motherfucker reminds me of Peter Pan because he looks lost. He just does everything for the boys. And he captures his shadow by kneeling on its neck. Too much? All
right. Tito looks like he puts on more jewelry to have sex.
Hell yeah. AJ doesn't even have sex, he just fist pumps. You know? Fuck out of here.
That didn't make any sense.
But they laugh.
Tito only fucks girls named Claire because that's where he shops.
It's ironic, and AJ's a college dropout because in high school his nickname was Kanye's cousin. Ooh.
It's okay. Tito has the vibe of a youth soccer coach that slide tackles the kids.
This fucking this fucking guy.
Fucking Mexican Femi up here, dude.
You Mac Miller Light looking ass. This fucker. You look like your pronouns are H&M. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, last joke everyone.
Okay. Tito is the only Mexican that smuggled Molly across the border. Sorry, Molly's the name of the girl he's molesting.
Yeah, you look like Casper if he was the handsy ghost. You corner women at the bar and go, "Can I keep you?" All right, that was fun.
All right.
Good, ladies and gentlemen, keep that going for Tito and AJ.
All right, that was the number 7 battle this week out of Chicago. AJ Leidig versus Tito. 2 top names in RBL history. They both put up tons of performances that have made the weekly submission. What did you think of that battle?
That was actually one of my first times seeing the Chicago battles, man. They were going back to back to back to back. That was kind of crazy in comparison to what we do. So props to them. I mean, that was at least like 6-7 jokes each.
I think it was a little
even
more than that.
Yeah. And they were all kind of everywhere, which is something I kind of like. It wasn't like one theme or anything like that. That was tough, man. I think Tito started off strong, and I thought AJ maybe was just a tad bit flat, but then it like slowly shifted the other way, and I thought AJ finished stronger than Tito did.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty good battle. I think that was pretty even, to be honest.
I kind of agree. I think AJ edged him out towards the end. Also, the Deacon joke, I feel like is just something that would be on Charity Gregory's overused joke list.
Okay.
And that, it's hard to dock somebody for that, but like every time, if it's every time, that's when you start getting docked. But I think AJ just had so many haymakers. My favorite one being the Duolingo owl being Tito's mom. I thought that was hilarious. I thought
on jewelry to have sex.
Yeah,
putting on more jewelry to have sex.
So funny.
That was good.
The hair tie. He asks you for a hair tie.
That was good.
And I loved Tito's thumb war joke. That was so funny. The buy yourself rebuttal also in the moment, very quick. Very much enjoyed this battle. So it's AJ's 4th appearance this season already for Chicago, and he will be representing them July 13th at the Comedy Cellar in New York City, taking on Mike Eaton. I love Mike Eaton. He's doing great work at the WRBL. And with that, do you have anything else on the Chicago battle? I will say, like you were saying, the Chicago battle, it was 7 jokes probably, but they had some rebuttals and stuff back and forth. I will say, like, all of the cities kind of have their own unique style, and you kind of get to see them play out each week. And I think really, I do believe that RBL Live will help kind of give everybody a sense of every region's style. The Bay Area, we're freak shows. We talk about it all the time. We got a weird style group of people.
But I think that's more of a testament.
The battles.
Oh, I'm sorry, but like I think that's more of a testament when folks come out to different regions and they have to adapt to that style.
Yeah.
Like I think Brit was the first person that Brit Beer that I kind of knew from another region that came into our shit, and she was telling me the difference and stuff, and I was like, oh wow, it's kind of crazy that you have to adapt each time you're in a new region. And guys like James Regal when he did that tour, I mean that's a flex then, right? You gotta adapt every single time. So yeah, man, that's gonna be good. All Star is gonna be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Very excited. The sixth battle is a title match. Actually, this comes to us from Vancouver. Also, make a round of applause for Vancouver getting some more points on the board. They're currently, they're at 4 points. They are in the running for relegation to the WRBL. So I'm glad to see them get 2 points here. Very fun battle. This is Nate Mercer defending his title against Aush Tanden.
So Nate does not drink. He just needs to look at me to slur.
Aush, more like a P-Aush. This guy fucking stinks.
Bars.
You know, when I first met Aush, I was a little on the fence about him. But, after going for coffee and getting to know him, I can honestly say he's a real piece of shit. As an engineer, Aush used to design Walmart buildings. You know that feeling when you walk into a Walmart and all sense of joy and ambition leaves your body? Yeah, that was his idea.
I didn't have such a big role in that. Sorry. Nate's in his 30s, and he's an aspiring high school teacher. He can teach a class on how to waste white privilege.
If you think it's lame that Aush is reading jokes off a phone, he's actually just picked up a new client on Uber, so... Aush's penis is a lot like an Apple product. Sure, most of it feels made in China, but that little tool used to pop out the SIM card, that's all him.
So Nate is very humble because he has nothing to be proud of.
Aush told me that him and his brother aim to build a better world. As an architect, his brother helps build subsidized housing for the underprivileged. And Aush just installed a battery for a billionaire's yacht. If he tells you it's carbon neutral, it's because it's built on the blood of innocent children.
So Nate told me he's only been drunk once in his life. I'm guessing when your mom was pregnant.
Are you shitting me right now? The whole reason Aush moved from Mississauga to Vancouver is for the love of a woman. 1 week later, she moved to Alberta, the one place in Canada where rats aren't allowed. Rats also have small penises.
Last joke of the round.
So Nate likes acting like a bitch.
Not bad. Hell yeah. I can see why they called you up to the big leagues. Sorry, I'm allergic to pedophiles. No, Aush and his family, they moved from India when he was 12 years old. You know, in pursuit of a better life and more opportunities. And, you know, I visit his father, a decorated war veteran of the Indian Army from time to time, and I always say the same thing. Double and a honey cruller, please.
Okay. Round 2. 1, 2, 3, roll.
Nate looks like he tells his female students that his shows are all ages.
To be honest, me and Aush were a little disappointed when we both showed up tonight because I thought I was going to be battling a comedian. And Aush was told he had a date with a blue-eyed blonde.
Guilty. Sorry.
I think I enunciated properly.
So, Nate's not a hardcore Christian, so I guess he's cool with abortion sometimes. Like when it's not white.
Aush has a very unique name, but actually he got his name because of miscommunication at the hospital. When the doctor asked his mom, what would you like to name your son? She said, oh, his name, Aush. Are you sure it's not too late for an abortion?
It's weird that I'm Indian, but it looks like Nate can fix the Wi-Fi.
It looks like you created Wi-Fi. I don't know what that means, but. Aush. Aush is the product of an arranged marriage, and like most products from India, he's cheaply made and he leaks when you turn him on.
So Nate does not say the N-word when he raps along to Kanye, but he hits all the Heil Hitlers.
The new track was fire. As a proud Hindu family, Aush's parents were shocked to find out that he started dating a half-black, half-white woman. But when they found out she was over 1,000 pounds, they were overjoyed. I mean, they literally worship the ground her hooves walk on. The only problem is, anytime he wants to have sex, she's rarely in the mood.
Last joke.
At school, Nate likes to go by Mr. Mercer, which is tricky because his students call him Gaylord.
Gaylord is my father's name. It's actually really sad. Sadly, Aush feels disconnected from his Indian culture. He's been in Canada for so long. So he decided to, remedy the situation, to join an ice hockey team, for the culture.
Okay.
All right. That was a fun battle. A 2-round championship battle. Not very often you see 2-round battles. Usually it just gets thrown to a 3rd round, kind of no matter what. The judges will usually lean that way, but that was a 2-rounder. And we've got a new champion in Vancouver. Aush took the win. I just really quickly, Nate, you can't say, you're allergic to pedophiles when you look like a 1980s pedophile.
I was just about to say that, dude. Like the Aush sneeze, he wasn't allergic to Aush. He was allergic to his own mustache.
I did love the you sure you don't want an abortion?
Are you shitting me? That was a good pun.
That was great. But he used it right after one of my favorite jokes that I've heard in a long time, where he said Nate's drank one time.
That was my note too.
My guess is when your mom was pregnant.
Hilarious. So good.
What were your thoughts on this battle out of Vancouver?
Aush, man, that was some hardcore stuff, dude. He doesn't look like he could bring that kind of fire, dude, but he was hitting it, he was landing it. I love his delivery. And I felt like because of that type of delivery, he took everything that Nate was saying like off the chin, and I don't even know if it affected him, dude. I don't even know if he heard it, to be real honest, man. I feel like Aush was in the pocket. I had him winning when we were watching it, so I'm glad to know that he came out with the belt, dude. Good for you, man.
We don't normally talk about the winners and losers of the battles, but I do feel like the championship matches might hold a little more weight.
Yeah.
Because it's truly not about the wins and losses with the rankings. Anyways, it's about who has the best battle. But title matches, we got a new champ in Aush Tanden. Congrats to him. And props, that is 2 points to Vancouver, bringing them up to 6 points on the season.
Vancouver's mean, man.
And next up, we've got our number 5 battle, and this comes to us from a team that I don't know the record, but they've been posting a battle on RBL Weekly for like 28 weeks straight. It is LA. Great battle out of LA from Robin Tran and Kiki Anderson. Here we go.
So guys, this is true. Kiki announced her career change from news reporter to comedian on a podcast that has 150 views. Hey, Kiki, breaking news, no one gives a shit. Back to you, Kiki.
Yes, I used to do the headlines. Speaking of headlines, why is yours back here? Your wig looks like it's Tokyo drifting. She really puts the FEMA in female because that's a disaster zone.
So Kiki is Jewish with scoliosis, which is why she's always walking around going, "Ow, my back, my back."
You're just mad.
Back to you, Kiki.
My back. I've got a pussy and a crack. You know, Robin, she actually transitioned the same year that Pluto stopped being a planet. Yeah, two large masses that got disowned by their families.
That was really funny. I'm surprised that you're so funny. So actually, you know, Kiki takes being Latina very seriously. I don't want to disrespect her heritage, so I did some research. And Kiki Anderson is actually short for Kiki Andale Mama E-I-E-I, uh-oh. Back to you, Kiki.
Whatever. You look like you're wearing Gene Hackman's wife. Scary, yes. No, honestly though, Robin, she reminds me of Vietnamese soup because I don't know what the fuck to call it, you know? Is it pho? Is it pho? I don't know, but there's clearly a P attached to a hoe.
Another clever joke by Kiki that's barely funny. Doesn't Kiki look like someone has a gun to her head forcing her to smile? I mean, Jesus, it's like Hillary Clinton on the campaign trail without all that charisma behind it, you know? Kiki looks like she spends a lot of time reading books about how to come off more sincere and likable. People are watching this battle right now going, wow, look at that fake woman. And also, there's a trans person. Back to you, Kiki.
Shut the fuck up. Guys, okay, whatever. You know, Robin, she's not just trans, okay? She's also bipolar. Some people call that manic. I call it manic.
Okay, so when Kiki and I were like exchanging info for roast battle, and Kiki says to me, well, my last relationship ended a year ago, and I guess I'm straight, but I might be bicurious. I don't know. And I said, look, for the last time, I'm not gonna fuck you. Can we talk about roast battle, please? Back to you, Kiki. All right.
Okay, honestly though, Robin, she is one of the greats. Yeah, she's one of the greatest roast battlers ever. They actually call her Peyton Tranning, which is weird because for a woman, she barely passes.
All right.
What a good ass battle.
Really good battle. Kind of petered out at the end there.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy those jokes as much as I enjoyed the other ones, but damn, I loved that from the beginning. Their hairlines, Tokyo drifting, the back to you, Kiki.
Oh, so good.
The first time Robin did it was funny, but when she did it that second time, she said, "No, wait.
Yeah.
Back to you, Kiki." That
Made her
great.
wait for it.
Very
It was such a
funny.
good move.
Loved a lot of those jokes. You could tell the joke about her smile really got to Kiki for a second. She covered her mouth. She had to process
Even the
it.
back to you, Kiki, got to her, dude. The shut the fuck up. That felt a little real, man. You know, ironically.
Yeah, I don't know. That was very fun battle. That is
Robin's a great man.
3 points for LA. They increased their lead. They're having a fantastic season. They go to 69.5 points on the season so far. That's going to be hard to catch up to. They're killing it. They're consistent. There's a show happening every week. There's great battles happening every week, and a pretty good submission every week. This was a weird case on the ballots. There were some people that had it ranked very high, and a couple people that didn't have it ranked at all. So it ended up fifth here tonight, and that's 3 points for LA. Shout out to Robin Tran and Kiki Anderson.
Two hella funny people did.
All right. And that brings us to our fourth battle. Number 4. This gives 4 points to a city that's also doing very well in the league this year, and that is Manchester. Manchester has 43 points. They're currently in the lead in their division. They get another 4 points from Alex Ty and Brendan Fox, 2 names I mentioned earlier.
Alex looks like he's designed an app that helps you find the nearest cuck chair. Alex is really into sci-fi. He's got a tattoo on his arm of the alien from the movie Alien. But that's just to throw you off the scent that he's actually a massive predator. All right, here we are. Alex is really into cosplaying Star Wars. He says he likes it because for a few hours you can literally be anything other than a ginger.
Thanks, Dad.
Gingers in the room.
Brendan looks like he's often at sexual health clinics because he likes the smell. Brendan's favourite instrument is a whistle. And his Instagram handle is the notorious BRE. However, after seeing how he is with women, I think he should change it to Bree Diddy.
Big up. Under fetishes, Alex put whatever gets my partner off. And under his partner's fetishes, they put, whatever gets this cunt off me immediately. Alex loves Star Wars so much he has sex like a Jedi. He's got to use the Force. It's not going to happen any other way. Who needs the whistle now? But Alex does look like the type of Jedi that would lose his lightsaber in the divorce. Back to you, champ.
Brendan loves rap music, so he may hate black people, but he likes the noises they make. Oh, okay. There we go. Cool. Brendan looks like the love child of the Milky Bar Kid and Ted Bundy. And he lost his virginity in Switzerland. He also lost his nan to assisted suicide. At least she gave him something to remember her by.
The doctor said my dick was too big. All right. We're rolling with it. We're having a good time. Alex is bisexual and loves Chinese food, which is why he's always after the cream of some young guy. I don't know. Alex is kind of like China. He's big, he's red, and he can fit up to 1 billion dudes in him at one time. Back to you, Mark.
Only 7. Brendan's dad has Alzheimer's and MS. It must really suck finding out that you got MS every day. Because his dad has Alzheimer's, he isn't as good as with women as Brendan is. His dad's 3 chat-up lines are, how am I doing? What's a guy like me doing in a place like this? And how am I doing? And in high school, he had a crush on Salma Hayek. Salma Hayek also being the noise his dad makes when he fits. All right.
Alex looks like he stars as the uncle from the hit TV show My Uncle's Gay. I don't know, I might have made that one up. Again, we roll with it. Alex has a sister who is transgender. Alex is transitioning himself into Vincent van Gogh if he only drank gravy. Alex claims that he can do a really cool Mickey Mouse impression. Imagine thinking a Mickey Mouse impression is really cool.
He likes MILFs, which stands for Mom, I'd like to fuck. Brendan looks like he says cowabunga during sex. And a fun fact for you guys, the red fox was introduced to Australia in the mid-1800s and has caused problems for the native wildlife ever since. Brendan Fox was introduced to Australia in the late 1900s and has caused problems for women walking home alone ever since.
Alex was an extra on the BBC One show, Our Zoo. What, did they run out of orangutans that day? All right. I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan myself, and Alex is a pretty good actor and voice actor, so I thought I'd seize this opportunity to kind of do a little screenplay I've written, if that's all right with you guys. All right. This is what would happen if Alex and I met in Star Wars. Can you just read that for me, champ?
Okay. In a cool voice. Darth Fox, we meet again. Since we've last met, my powers have doubled. I've been scouring the far reaches of the galaxy to take you down and bring you before the Jedi Council.
I'm gonna beat you to death, you ginger cunt. Okay. All right.
What's really sad is I had the choice to not do that.
We're very thankful you did.
Brendan's comedy hero is Louis C.K. His sexual assault hero is also Louis C.K. Brendan's a legend. He's genuinely one of my favorite roasters, kind of like the Chuck Norris of comedy. Do you remember like the old Chuck Norris jokes that were stuff like, if you want to find a list of Chuck Norris's enemies, you've got to look on the extinct species list? Well, there's one about Brendan, which is, if you want to find a list of Brendan's enemies, look in any women's refuge. And that's us done, I think.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Manchester.
That was a very fun battle between Brendan Fox and Alex Ty. I really enjoyed this battle. This was another battle that was kind of all over the place in the rankings. It ranked as high as first, and then it didn't rank on some people's ballots. And I do think they kind of got it right, somewhere right here in the middle. It's finished fourth. Pick up 4 points for Manchester. They increased their lead. I really enjoyed this battle. I liked Alex Ty a lot, but I feel like he also had a lot more misses. And Brendan Fox just came with some haymakers, and even the prop and handing him the note, making him read.
That's when you know you're winning, man.
Ending it with something like Ginger Cunt is hilarious.
Yeah, I think that's kind of like a symbol of how much he was winning at that point. Because I wrote here that Brendan won and he was clearly funnier, but I kind of want to hang out with Alex because he seems like a fun hang.
Yeah,
he seems like he's a good time.
Yeah, Brendan would make fun of you too much.
Yeah,
Brendan would eat you alive.
Yeah, Brendan seems like an asshole in real life, but he clearly is funnier here. But no, that was a good ass battle, man. It helps. I think Alex has to be credited because he took all those jokes really well.
Absolutely.
And that's a part of it, man. Like losing takes skill as well. Like as odd as that sounds.
Yeah.
You can
And who
really
knows
lose
better than
bad.
you?
Yeah, you can suck my fucking ass.
All
you know?
All right, we're gonna move on. That was a very fun battle. 4 points for
Good shit,
Manchester. This next battle comes to us. We mentioned earlier the points in Chicago and New York, how close they are. New York is our next city, picking up 5 points here. This is Dave Shehan taking on the head of Roast Battle New York, Dan Wicks.
Yeah, don't Dave and I look like we're trying to summon each other from a mirror? Yeah. You know, people say Dave looks like his dad because his dad is dead.
That's when the resemblance started. To summon Dan for tonight's match, I had to turn the crank until he sprang out of the small plastic box he lives in. Dan's eyes are so far apart, it looks like the right one is trying to run away from the left one. Imagine being so deep on the spectrum that even your eyes won't make contact with themselves.
You look like you're trying to make contact with the third kind. All right, anyway, thank you, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Dave is so white that when he's making potions in his cauldron, he doesn't use any seasoning.
I just have him shake the cauldron to stir it. Is that how we summon from the mirror? Okay, I'm still learning. Dan has Tourette's, so if you're wondering why, it appears that he's when he stands still, it appears that he's playing Dance Dance Revolution underwater. That's why. Dan told me he had a pet rabbit that died of old age. I guess when you have Tourette's, died of old age is slang for chomp chomp. Oh wait, this isn't a Hot Pocket.
Dave has never been in a relationship. Yeah. Yeah, he's tall enough to ride any roller coaster except for the experience of dating a woman.
Thank you, the Blair Twitch Project. By the way, welcome everyone to the roast battle equivalent of those mattress commercials where your partner can toss and turn all night and you don't feel a thing. Tonight, he's the bowling ball, I'm the wine glass. Dan seems like he frequently makes his friends dress up and come over for a murder mystery dinner party, but he actually kills one of the guests because it needs to be authentic.
You know, that bed joke is funny. This is the closest you've come to feeling something in bed with a partner. All right, Dave has never had sex, but I still think that touching him gives you warts.
Then why did you bump my mic earlier? Thank you, Broey Deschanel. Dan looks like if the cartoon guy from the IKEA instruction manuals built himself. He looks like Linus from Peanuts if he grew up and now uses his security blanket for autoerotic asphyxiation.
Dave actually does like being single because his favorite activity is playing chess against himself. Yeah. Actually, Dave is a lot like a pawn, right? He's a forgettable round knob who needs to cross over and become a queen. Oh, wait, he got one more.
Oh, sorry, Dave. Sorry.
That's one. Thank you, the villain in a Tampax commercial. All right. This match is almost over. Please remain seated until Dan comes to a complete stop.
All right, that is New York picking up 5 points. Fantastic battle between Dave Shehan and Dan Wicks. Such a fun battle. What were your thoughts on that battle?
Dude, that was a good battle between Little Nicky and the actual devil. That was really good. It's cool when you see two worlds collide like that, because I mean, Dave kind of put it into perspective, man. That whole wine glass and bowling ball. I mean, that's the type of stuff that I feel like we do in the Bay Area, where those battles that you thought you would never see, but they work out at the end. You know what I mean? Like, funny's funny, man.
Yeah,
that's really where it comes down to.
Yeah,
they brought it.
That was great. I think they both had phenomenal jokes.
Yeah.
Dan Wicks, one of my favorite people. Dan Wicks versus Josh Means will happen this season. We've talked about it. That is going to happen. And we're running low on time, so we're just gonna keep it moving. It's 5 points to New York. You know the deal with New York. They're here every week. They do this. All right. This is Dan Wicks, Dave Shehan. If this is your first time seeing them, go check them out. They've got tons of great battles. Dave Shehan, very good record, dating back the 3 seasons we've been doing RBL. Dan Wicks, almost consistently every battle I feel like he does ends up on RBL. It's two great battlers putting up a good battle here. And now we move on to our second battle of week 15. And this is also a title match. This comes to us from Cleveland, and it is the champion Pope, who will be representing Cleveland at the All-Star Game, Comedy Cellar, July 13th. Get tickets. Pope is defending his title against Dave Haron here. It's the number 2 battle, picking up 6 points for Cleveland. Let's check it out.
So we talk about Dave dying a lot for obvious reasons. Sooner than later, But I asked him, like, hey, do you want to be cremated? He said, nah, I would prefer to be jelly-filled.
We'll all know when you die because purple smoke will rise from the Vatican. Pope is Caribbean American. Women call him Captain Black Sparrow because his dick's a black pearl.
All right, some of y'all laughing too hard. Y'all must have saw it. You talking bodies? You the only person whose body can be described as nooks and crannies. You got divots and crevices all over here.
You're built like an Obama sister. Pope looks like he keeps Pokemon cards in Crown Royal bags.
Try to trade after the show? You the only person I know that got season tickets to hot dog eating contests.
It's entertaining to watch. It's even better to participate.
We know.
Yeah.
I just want to touch you.
That's gonna cost you.
And did it just then. He didn't even notice that's how fat he is.
It's crazy that it doesn't make sense that Pope would choose the stage name Pope until you learn that he also fingers children in his mobile.
Yo, I don't even have a car. You know how inaccurate that is?
All right, that's 3 jokes each. End of round 1. Judges, who do you have?
First of all, Pope looks like his birth certificate was signed by Jim Henson. If he was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, his name would be Basquiat. Pope says he's easily the flyest comedian. He's right. He looks exactly like a fly, but also the child soldier it's pestering. Last Christmas, Pope wore his thinnest pajamas to sit on Santa's lap. I know because I was that Santa. This Halloween, Pope's gonna take his shirt off and trick or treat as a talking backwood cigar. In high school, Pope would have had the flyest sneaker collection if his grandma didn't insist on using his boxes for pigeon bones for her rituals.
Dave's afraid of me because he thinks I'm broccoli. Dave's the only person I know that has flavored ice cube for his beverages. I went over his house. He was like, hey, you want some ice? What flavor? Barbecue or honey mustard? Hey, Dave, if you're here, then who's the Mucinex mascot? Oh, shit. Dave told me he's a manager of a call center. They made him the manager because his Indian accent wasn't good enough. This man said he has a clean bill of health. Look at this fat nigga. He said he has a clean bill of health. He misconstrued it. The doctor said he got high blood pressure and high cholesterol. He came back and told us, yeah, everything's on the up and up.
All right, that is the championship battle out of Cleveland. Cleveland picking up 6 points. They move from 11 to 17. Big jump for them as they hope to make a playoff race and avoid relegation. That was a huge week for them. Great battle from Pope and Dave. Very, very exciting to see Cleveland do this. I feel like Cleveland's been doing this for years. So for them to string together a couple good weeks the last month or so has been fun to watch. I'm a big fan of Pope, big fan of Dave. Dave's come in for the Patreon hangouts. There will still be hangouts and workshops and Zoom battles over the RBL Live. I'm going to make sure that happens as well. That's not going away with the Patreon. That stuff will still be happening. Dave is somebody who's joined the Patreon hangouts a couple times and given his thoughts, and so I've got to know him a little bit. And exciting to see this battle. Another battle that was a championship battle ended up going 2 rounds. I don't know what happened there with the judges. I think there were, I think it's weird when it doesn't get sent to a 3rd round. I think if we're doing a 3-round championship battle, let's just let them go the 3 and judge at the end of all 3 rounds.
Especially if you write it, man, you want to hear it.
Because I mean, the judges can score the rounds as they're happening, and then the host can stop and say something. I don't know. It's up to you guys how you do it. But I mean, if everybody's writing enough for 3 rounds, let's make sure we get those 3 rounds. Because I would have loved to see another round out of Pope and Dave, and I think maybe they might have placed higher. But also on the flip side, there are some times where a battle is 3 rounds and it goes just a little too long.
Yeah.
So maybe they did get out in the sweet spot right here. But huge battle.
Yeah.
Huge
really
battle.
Cool of Guinness to buy so much ad space too.
Very fun battle. Cleveland, number 2 this week, which brings us to our number 1 battle of the week. And listen, shit. I'm going to get out in front of it right now. I know you guys are going to say I'm colluding. All right. I kept the receipts. I've got the numbers from the votes. This battle comes to us from the Bay Area. Number 1. All right. It in the ranking committee. It didn't rank 1. And on anybody's, it didn't rank first on anybody's ballot, but it didn't rank lower than 3rd. Everybody kind of had this as a top 3 battle this week, and it just so happened to sneak first. So the Jews really do control the media. This is Dakota Fry versus Jillo. Bay Area picking up 7 points. Let's watch.
First of all, everybody give it up for the Special Olympics gymnastics coach right here. Hell yeah. Dakota and I actually have a lot in common. We're both sober. We're both going through divorces. I haven't seen a dick in 8 years. He hasn't seen his in 5. And honestly, he might never see his dick because I heard he's losing it in the divorce.
Yeah, I am fat. My eyes and my stomach are like fighting for weekend custody to get to see my cock. It's a whole thing. One more time for Girl Fiore, everybody. Jillo's only TV credits are diners, drive-ins, and dikes. Jillo calls her girlfriend's ass Flavortown.
God damn. Cool story, Jack hates blacks. Dakota told me that he toured the country playing guitar and even opened for some legendary hardcore bands. Yeah. By opened, he meant the door.
Also my ass. Anything for stage time. Jillo, you look like you squirt WD-40. Strap-on has truck nuts. In all seriousness, it's like shocking to me that Jillo hates sucking dick because she looks like an all-star of Smash Mouth.
Yeah, with those teeth, dude, he doesn't suck dick, he scrapes dick, bro. In case you didn't know, Dakota isn't blind. In case you're wondering. You might think so because he wears sunglasses inside and he wears the most ridiculous fucking shit. Dakota looks like he's actively trying to be unfuckable by all genders.
Dude, I'm wearing a thong right now. Jillo, I do look funny, but you look like a fish that, like, you look like a fish would hold you up on your Tinder photo. an alcoholic and half Japanese, which explains why she's always at the dive bars hunting for whales. She doesn't peg fat chicks, she harpoons them.
Thank you, Adam Dick Handler. Dakota is a bisexual man. You know what that means? He's gay. But not gay enough to tell his dad. His dad's actually a retired homicide detective, so he's good with clues. His dad was able to figure out that his son might be gay because the only bikes he rode didn't have a seat.
One more time for the principal for Matilda if she worked at Zoom. This is actually really cool. Jillo is a former pro skater. Yeah. So what her former lovers call stalking, she calls the X Games. Jillo's so fucking manly, when she grinds women, there's a 50-50 chance they get pregnant.
All right, that was our number one battle of the week: Dakota Fry and Jillo. First, Pat mentioned this last week, or 2 weeks ago when we had a battle from the same camera angle. That I know that was a terrible angle. All right, I get it. That was at a new venue where we haven't recorded before. We haven't done a show there. And I walked inside the venue from being out back smoking to find out that we had actually sold out the room. So I thought there was like 8 tickets sold. We ended up selling it out, and there was no place to put a camera anymore. And there were only 2 openings, and that was somehow the better one. So next time we've got a spot that we've already planned out. We will be back at the Deaf Puppy Comedy Club July 3rd.
That club looks so good, man. Oh my gosh.
July 6th. We've got shows
Shout out to
always.
Deaf Puppy, man. I got to get there.
Great club. The crowd was on fire, and part of the reason was this battle. This was a great battle. It set the tone for the night when we went there, and I feel like they both had some killer jokes. One of the feedback I got from the ranking committee this week is that Dakota Fry might just be the best dance partner in RBL. He's got so many things wrong with him. He's a goofy character, and he feeds into all of it. He'll take it all on the chin.
That's a great analogy. Great dance partner.
Sometimes literally. They pick up 7 points for the Bay Area. Shout out to us. Very excited for them. Huge showing for Jillo too. This is her first time on the podcast, and she is one.
Shout out to Jillo. Let's go.
Me and Jillo actually battled earlier this season.
Surprise battle,
on a last minute battle. It was day of notice.
She killed there too.
And it was a great battle in my eyes. It didn't end up ranking. But this week she ends up first along with Dakota Fry. Any final thoughts on that battle?
No, I'm excited, man. I mean, before, I don't know, can we talk about it?
The what?
What's coming up? I'm battling Dakota.
Oh, yeah. We just talked about Dakota being the best dance partner in the RBL. Artie Valenzuela, you'll be battling him June 27th at Punchline Sacramento.
In a couple weeks.
That'll be a very fun one.
I'm excited for that one, dude. Like, honestly, Dakota is rightfully so been just skyrocketing up these rankings and getting appreciated, getting his flowers. The dude can write, man. And it's obvious that he has a novel prepared for every battle. And I'm excited to battle him. The whole analogy of a great dance partner, that's something that I kind of relate to. I don't know if you could tell me if I'm wrong or not, but I feel like that's something. Fuck you. You're wrong.
I've heard
too.
from a couple people you don't like to trade information and
I
stuff
don't
like
trade
that.
information.
So
No,
that
fuck
doesn't
that.
mean you're a good dance partner. I feel
No,
like
the dance partner's on the fucking when we perform.
All right.
Yeah.
To
No,
each
I'm
their
gonna
own,
correct you.
but
Fuck you. I'm right. I feel
don't
like
think that's
Dakota
true.
and I are so alike. No, honestly, I'm excited for Dakota. He's and the information exchange. Dakota's not going off that anyway.
Yeah, he would. But one thing I do want to say about Dakota is
I reached out to him. He hasn't answered. It's
last season he won Bay Area MVP with a losing record. It was 4-10, I believe. This season, he's still been battling at about the same pace, and he's been putting in the same amount of points, and he's been winning the battles. So very exciting. I don't remember who won this battle, Jillo or Dakota, which is hilarious that I don't know, but
you were there.
I'm pretty sure Dakota won.
You're
With
the
the
commissioner of our
WD-40
league.
joke and the Matilda joke were the two that carried it for him. Dakota did win that
I'm
battle.
saying the principal Matilda that works
at Zoomies. Hilarious. All right, so let's get to the standings. We'll start with the West Division in the U.S. Bay Area picking up 7 points. LA picking up 3 points this week. We've got LA, number 1, 72.5 points. Bay Area right behind him, though, catching up with 63 points. Austin in third with 36.5 points, and Denver in the rear with 4 points. Come on, Denver. We want you to stay in the league. You gotta get some more submissions ranked.
That's just no submissions or submissions not being ranked.
A little bit of both. I feel like they had a very good submission this week. It would have been on my rankings, but it did end up a little bit outside of the top 7.
Come on, Denver.
Moving over to the United States East Division, we've got New York in first place with 63.5 points after they pick up 5 points this week. Chicago right behind them with 55.5 points after they picked up 1 point from the AJ Leidig Tito battle. And Cleveland in third with 17 points after they gained 6 points this week. And Atlanta right behind them at 12 points. Moving over to the International West Division, we've got Barcelona not placing today, but holding steady with their lead. They've got 36 points. Scotland at 25.5 behind them at the number 2 spot. Vancouver moving up 2 points today, giving them 6 total for the 3rd spot in the International West Division, while Toronto is currently leading the race to relegation. They have 1 point. They have won number 7 battle this season. Maybe I shouldn't have shouted out Will Christensen for the All-Star spot. I don't think team with 1 point really deserves an All-Star member, if I'm being honest.
That whole Kendrick Drake shit fucked everything up, huh?
Maybe.
Damn, man. It affects everything. The trickle-down effect is crazy.
Moving over to the International East Division, we've got Manchester in first place. They also extended their lead, picking up 4 points today, leaving them at 43. Tokyo behind them with 12 points, and London in third with 9. Sydney didn't submit this week. One of two cities not to submit this week. They've got 3 points. At least Denver and Toronto are submitting. I will say that.
They're down under.
Sydney, I will also say this was a weird week. So if you have a submission next week, send it in to me.
Send it to Wallaby Way.
Now, we do have some of those teams that seem like they might be a little ways out of the playoff spot, but we do have a wild card for the first time this year. And if we check out the standings for the U.S., the Bay Area currently in first place for that wild card division with 63 points.
Don't touch
Chicago right behind them with 55.5. And then Austin and Cleveland in third and fourth. And then moving over to the international side, Scotland would be the wild card if the season ended today. But behind them is Tokyo, London, and Vancouver. We've still got 20 weeks left. These standings can change drastically.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about being consistent, submitting each week, and putting out those great battles. And I'm excited to see where we go from here. Thank you guys. Let me know how much you hated this edition of the podcast in the comments.
Or you can compliment.
You can also compliment, but I've seen the comments before.
No, let's be kind here. Let's change it up.
Yeah, please.
The nicer you are, the meaner it feels to us. That's how we work.
That
when you
is
say
actually
compliments,
kind
it
of true.
hurts our feelings. It hurts our feelings when you compliment.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Keep following. Keep subscribing. Check out rbl.live. Let's roast.